right, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in Little Geekdom, and welcome to our Little Geekdom episode
8.
Someone, thank you. I was waiting for you guys to say
I was
it
waiting.
for
I
me.
thought you were doing a dramatic pause or something.
No, I was doing a dramatic pause for you guys to go 8, and then you're like, 8? Is it 8? Yes, it is episode 8, indeed.
If you're not sure, look at Theeds' hat.
If you're not sure, look at the hat, yes. Anyway, we have a very special guest. Well, every single one of our guests is special because they're all very dear friends of ours.
But he's one of our bestest friends.
Yes, and he is.
He's not just a friend, he's family.
He is none other than the Ed.
I knew it was coming.
At least
I was
it wasn't
mentally
me.
bracing myself for it.
It wasn't me this time. You can't blame me.
Yes, actually it's Theed. It's not actually the Ed. Kez just called him.
No, it's Theed3.
Oh, yes, I know that. That's why I called him the Ed3.
Yeah, we've simplified it down to Theed. It's just easier for everybody.
Yeah, everyone just calls me Theed. Just like everyone calls me Ziff and not Ziff Diffie, you know? Because it's just too long. Anyway, yes, Theed.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, sheesh, where do I even start? I mean, I'm now a full-time content creator. I moved to a new country. I was streaming full-time. I still am streaming full-time, but I've kind of taken a step aside to rather focus on a magnitude of platforms rather than just one. So still trying to iron that process out. But yeah, at the moment, I am a Rocket League streamer. I have joined the Esports team. I've got a podcast. I've got a pretty successful Twitch channel at the moment. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, the whole freaking bang shoot. TikTok, I've got one video on TikTok. One. Kind of funny. But, yeah. So, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, what is that Oh No song? God, that song. Ugh.
Oh, no. I can only ever think of the run one. Run. Running off. That's my favorite.
My brother's got a cat that does that. We've actually got 9 cats that would do that.
Yeah. I've witnessed at least 3 of them attempting.
Yeah. I was gonna say you've seen it in action.
You've seen Shade run for the door, and you've seen me close the door, and then she just like sort of
Yeah.
into it. She turns into what's it, harpsichord and just goes.
Now imagine we're going to get little harnesses and leads for them. We're going to walk with
That's
them.
going to be so cute. I
It's
can't
gonna be
wait for
fun to
those
watch,
videos.
Oh yeah, those are going to be epic videos. Those are going to be quite funny. You see a whole group of cats, all tails in the air.
Chaos.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
8 of them actually. The 9th one will be.
Yeah, Snowbell, we're not sure what we're going to do with her. The little white one with the funny paws.
Oh yeah.
She's a bit of a difficult one to actually work with. We don't know how to actually work with her because we can't just walk her like the rest of the cats.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because the rest of the cats will all be fine. They'll
Will
all
be
just
cool.
like, walk in a group.
Just be
or
normal.
whatever.
Yeah. But obviously.
She may have a hard time
She's gonna
walking.
struggle a
because
bit.
of, you know, her paws. So
Yeah. It's going to be uncomfortable for like a long period of time. Maybe short.
Yeah, short walks would be fine
alright.
for her. So we'd have to take her out separately or something, or just let her out on a harness or a short walk or something outside. She doesn't really go very far anyway. It's snowy.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
do
true.
that.
She just likes to chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's a chill cat. She'll go outside and
So-
just lie on the grass.
Yeah.
For those of you who obviously you can see that we're very good friends with Theed. Yes, I believe that we kind of convinced him to come to the UK. He was planning on coming here anyway, but I used my Jedi mind tricks to say come to the UK, come, and it kind of worked.
And
But
here I am.
what was the kicker decision for you to actually want to come here and do the streaming full time?
So for me, I had a goal on my channel. It was to reach 1,000 followers on Twitch. And so I said to myself that when I get to 1,000 followers, I need to take this decision seriously. Either I'm going to stop focusing on streaming or I'm going to go head first into it. And what I kind of realized was that as amazing as the South African community is at the moment, the amount of opportunities that are available are just so little that, and there's so many creators, especially after lockdown. I mean, I don't know how much you guys have seen, but since lockdown, there's been so many new creators who have jumped into the scene. And so I do think that there's going to be more opportunities coming in the near future, but in the near future, I'm going to be 35, and I might be past the time where I can take advantage of these things. So for me, it was more about, okay, I've got to 1,000 followers. I need to take this seriously. How am I going to get myself the right sort of opportunities? And I thought to myself, well, I've got a British passport. Let's go over to the UK. I know the pool is bigger. I know that I'm going to be jumping straight into the deep end. However, I think that the opportunities are going to be way more. And so it just made sense from a content creation point to move to one of the more central hubs for this kind of a community. So
how have you found the support and the community and the difference with streaming here as opposed to in South Africa? Because I know we've seen not a huge change, but there is you can see the change with the viewer counts and the analytics and stuff like that. And by the way, also I do need to mention it again, congratulations on hitting your 2K on Twitch.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How have you seen a difference?
I mean, I have. I've been very fortunate to still have the community that I made in South Africa follow me, and they're still there to support me and watching me. I thought that I would get a bigger audience faster than I have. But in saying that, I mean, the first 1,000 took a year and a half. The second took 4 months, or 6 months. So it's definitely, I've definitely noticed an improvement, but where I've seen it the most is the recommended list. A lot of people pop in because in South Africa, I was now and again popping up on people's recommended list, but now because I'm more centralized to where people are watching, I've seen that pop up more often than I have ever before, that I'm on the recommended list. I don't think that it has been as big as I thought it was going to be. I did think that it was going to be quite a big jump because during the lockdown streams last year, I saw incredible success. So I thought by doing the same things I did here, I would see at least the same sort of success, and it definitely isn't that. So it's definitely changed my perspective moving here because I had this perception of how things were going to be, and it's definitely better. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely better. I was watching the episode with Tunes and talking about lockdown and the power outages. I mean, I don't want to go into it but that affects the streamer in a big way, because not just on you being able to stream, but people being able to watch. So if half of the country is out of power that night, they can't watch you. It's as simple as that. So not having something like that sort of burdening me is a huge advantage, and things like internet not ever going down is something that I'm privileged now, whereas before I'd be happy if I had good internet, but now
happy if you had internet at all.
Absolutely. So I think that in terms of being in a content creation space, this is definitely the place I need to be right now.
I've always seen from what we've looked at, when we arrived here, I was not confident that we would be able to do well as content creators. When we looked at it, obviously, then we what we did was we switched around and we tried to find our feet here because we're not just one platform, we're not just single platform content creators. We tried to actually go over different kinds of platforms. This is obviously why we had to restructure everything to do with the SA Geeks, because you can no longer just do, especially when you're in a first world country, when they're expecting you to actually come out with something special, because content creators are a dime a dozen here. Everyone's a content creator, but it's what you bring to the party that they would be more interested in actually looking at. So with you, it would be more about to be honest, with most South Africans that come here and do streaming, it's because of our accent as well.
It is, absolutely.
They really enjoy the accent of the South African. I don't understand why.
Because we're so used to it. So
we're just like whatever. Hey, it doesn't really matter. Hey,
I actually had sorry to interrupt you guys, but it was very funny. I told Ziff about it. during the week, I was speaking to one of our customers, and she asked me if I'm going to phone her back after I've sorted her problem, and I said no, I'll definitely phone you. And she's like, so you're not going to phone me? And I said, no, I will. Oh, so you're not phoning me? No, I mean I will phone you. And it's because of the South African where you say no in front of something.
I will.
Yeah, but also, I mean, they don't know what "ya" is. So you say "ya no," I'm gonna phone, or "ya no," I'll phone you later. They're like, huh?
Wait.
You gotta. Are you or aren't you going to phone me? You've got to switch everything around when you speak to customers. I mean, this is also one of the reasons why I'm kind of happy I'm moving to back office. Because it's so hard to speak to people. I mean, I love talking to the people. There's always different people when you're working in what we're doing. You know, we're working complaints. So there's always a different situation. You know, you always comes something always comes up that's different, right? And the customers are always you know, there's always a different customer to speak to, but trying to switch the way you speak around
your slang off.
It's
a little tab
really difficult.
Off.
Yeah,
I wish.
You know, you gotta. There is no switch because you gotta say "ya."
It just happens.
You gotta talk like a South African because like you are South African,
and that's your comfort zone. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you start talking, it's natural.
Yeah, so I've learned now. Whenever I'm about to say "ya," I go "yeah," because they get that. They understand
what that means. Yeah. Now I'm noticing how much I'm saying "ya," but it's like it's a conversation continuation, you know.
It's basically
Terrible.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Yeah.
I understand. No, I understand. And that's also, I mean, you know, we don't notice it. We don't things like also, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
You have no idea.
It's a South African thing, you know. Those kinds of things are all South African things.
We're highlighting so many things that people are going to get now annoyed with listening to the rest of the.
How many times will they say X, Y,
we're
and
going to have
Z?
to start a counter.
You check the little counter that Josh puts up in the corner. It'll be like every time they say "ya," like
it's going to hit like an unlimited thing.
Yeah, it's. Can't stop it.
That is part and parcel of being South Africans. But what I've noticed is that is definitely something that we have a slight advantage when it comes to being up here, especially when I don't hold any bars. So when I'm playing like 7 Days to Die, I will swear like an Afrikaans
the P word comes out.
Yeah, you've heard it. I don't just say P, I say D as well.
But that's not too
P,
bad.
D, and the other P.
Yeah.
No, D isn't that bad. The D word isn't that bad.
That's kind of friendly. Yeah.
The two P words. Although you know what, Paul isn't that bad. They kind of laugh at that one. You know, so.
That's the thing. If you know what it is, the other one.
Yeah, because I mean, half the time you're going asshole. Most people know.
Yes, exactly. They know
Paul
it
is
as
asshole.
Yeah.
So
I've definitely noticed that, and I've taught people so far. I've taught people clap.
All the swear words.
Clap and clap and scorp, because those are two channel commands that I have. So it's very funny because I've got
clap you and then
some other American friends who are streamers who clap each other in their chats because they've now learned what the whole, even if they don't know exactly what it means, they use it as a reference to doing an action towards somebody. So they scorp each other and they clap each other. It's very funny.
Yeah, or what Karen was doing the other day, O for O. She was doing that with a freaking zombie the other day on DS7. It's like, oh, we're playing O for O. And so it's like, okay. I'm sitting there thinking no one's going to understand that. And of course, Josh comes in and puts a nice explanation of what O for O is. It's good to have South African editors because they know what to edit.
They know, yeah. They got it.
So yeah, I know it's yeah, I know.
I'm noticing
I'm trying
my best to just
so
move on,
hard not to.
It's really difficult. I'm like squeezing fingers here.
South Africans talking to other South Africans.
Bad idea.
It turns into a very funny conversation after a while. It really does. Eventually, ons sal almal Afrikaans praat en dan julle is al gefok.
But anyway.
Yeah, as Saber Fox will say, but anyway. So tell us a little bit about Rocket League, dude. What got you into Rocket League? I mean, the last time we chatted, you were only just like starting up with Rocket League, but it wasn't really a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, at least not in your streams. What got you focusing only on Rocket League for your streams?
So I think probably the biggest thing was just my skill level increase. So what I noticed was it got to a point where people were enjoying watching me play because I was better than the average player. So if you've just started playing Rocket League and you watch me play, it's kind of like, oh wow, okay, he can do some things. So I'm nowhere near pro level, but I noticed that people, my friends specifically, they said to me, Tim, you should play more Rocket League because it's actually really great to watch you, because we know they've played a little bit of Rocket League and they understand that what I'm doing isn't just playing a game, it requires a little bit of skill. And I think with Epic buying over Rocket League and making it free to play, the spike in audience went from an average player base of 200,000 to over 1 million at any given time. So to make the decision to focus primarily on Rocket League was kind of, previously I mean, I've said it on stream many times that, you know, I would stream a horror night game and then I would go into Rocket League later on that evening, and I would go from my average of 7 to 10 viewers to 2 to 3 watching Rocket League, one of them being me. So it was never really a good game or a good title for that purpose. So it never kind of popped off. But it was also just because, you know, as streamers, I mean, you guys know, especially if you use it, like playing Ark, it's because you enjoy playing Ark. And I was playing Rocket League on stream because I enjoy playing Rocket League. It wasn't like a title I was streaming for any purpose. I was just because that's what I wanted to play at the time.
For fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so there were a couple of things that happened. But I mean, I've been playing Rocket League since 2016, so it's 5 years that I've been playing this game. And it's like something that my brother and I have used to keep in contact, and now that's who I'm living with here. So, you know, it's kept our relationship over the years. While he's been here and I've been in SA, we would at least once a week sit and play an hour or two of Rocket League, which was really cool for our relationship. And yeah, so now it's at a point where the esports side of Rocket League is really popping off, and because it's free to play, there's so many people wanting to watch it, wanting to play it, people who can play it. It's very accessible, so it just kind of makes sense. And the amount of content that can be created around Rocket League it's incredible. It looks like a very basic game, but there's so many facets into it that if you're willing to take the time to explore, it's a really incredible game. So
makes sense. And I think Kez has got a question here.
I do. Ooh, put me on the spot. How did the shoutcasting thing with the esports team in Germany come about?
So on Fridays, I host a tournament. So anybody can join. Doesn't matter what your skill level is. And it's always been 1v1s. So what will happen is that if I get kicked out of the tournament, then I'll go on to cast the rest, more specifically the final. So it's just kind of me watching it and giving a little bit of, the intention is to give a bit of expertise behind what's happening. And so they'd contacted me on Instagram, and it's not the first company that's made contact with me. There have been a few because of the tournaments, and this one, it just felt different. Like I could see that their mindset was heading in the right direction, and I feel like if I'm going to start in that venture, there's never ever an opportunity that's going to open up at the top. You've got to start somewhere, and this is what I can see this is going to be. I can see that they're going to be wanting to work with me, and I'm going to be wanting to work with them, and we're going to both grow in the direction together. And so I'm excited about the opportunity, because I mean, it is very daunting to now have to do it professionally rather than just kind of messing around. But I think like that's the next level of exposure that I need to grow. So I signed the docs. I am now the official caster, and we should start in a week or two. We haven't actually confirmed the schedule as yet, but it is very exciting.
Nice. Nerve-wracking too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's unexplored territory, so I don't know what to expect, and that's it's a good place to be, but it's very nerve-wracking because there's so many potential things that can go wrong that you haven't learned how to deal with yet. That it is a bit.
Something will come up and you won't realize it.
Yeah, you got to deal with it. You got to. The only way you can figure out.
But that's how you learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're not willing to swim in the deep end, you're never going to be able to.
It's the whole thing. If you're not
able to float.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're not going to jump out of your comfort zone, you're never going to be a good content creator. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen content creators come in for the money and last for that long because they've made their certain amount of money. Yeah. And then just left because that was all they really were there for, and they've created a market for people. Yeah, and they've created a market for people to actually do that. And the whole thing is that is not you're not going to make a good career for yourself if you do it that way. You know, I've always felt that when it comes to content creation and actually comes to doing the videos and when Kez and I decided to go back to videos and things like that, the reason why we did it was for the exact reason that we don't want to be those people that come in with how do I say this? With we're gonna make this much money and then just leave. We wanted to actually create a name for ourselves, a brand. The SA Geeks we wanted it to be a brand. It's just we had to find the right kind of market, And being up here in Scotland, we have a nice chance of actually creating something decent because our South African viewers will be able to see what it's like to live here in Scotland. Absolutely. What we actually live like here in Scotland, and essentially what South Africans live like in the UK, and they'll be able to see the wonders that are actually part of this country,
of the world. The country.
And I mean all of the UK, not just Scotland, but we are planning on going to Wales. I want to go to Northern Ireland at some point so that we can go and have a look around there. That's if shit doesn't go too far south there. Jeez. that is wow. That is something else to actually talk about there, but that's not even it won't be part of the podcast.
But of course we'll knock on your door one day.
Yeah, of course we're going to come down to England and knock on your door.
Absolutely. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We can go out and when lockdown finally finishes, go to like a Wetherspoons or something.
Yeah, have a pint.
Have a pint. No, but yeah. So the idea was that we wanted to actually create something that everyone would watch. That's as Kez will always explain. That's exactly why we went back to YouTube. Yeah. We are funnier as YouTubers. We're better as YouTubers. We have more. Exactly. We've got more skill when it comes to this. We know how to entertain people more as YouTubers than we ever would as content creators. I mean, as streamers. I mean, yes, we both still stream. I've got the advantage of being the voice of all the characters in Baldur's Gate. So there is that. But yeah, I mean, Kez obviously tries her hand at different games. When she finds her niche, she'll be able to use it.
Get there.
She's been trying what's it called?
Monkey
Island, and she can't get past certain parts. She starts like
it's so frustrating. Yeah, that's
so she needs to find a game that'll actually keep her captivated while she's playing. Otherwise, you're gonna sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. You're gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to play. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Delete it. Yeah, the amount of games that I've deleted on stream because they've just been so crap.
It's ridiculous.
It is what it is. Yeah.
You're like, some of the free games you get on Epic. I mean, they're really awesome games, but you're not going to play them on stream because you'll bore the crap out of the people watching.
Not every game is a streamable game. It's just one of those things.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something that you have to look out for as well. I don't know if you've seen that Zaffa is now busy streaming.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Okay.
Yeah, and it's his first time playing it, and it's really funny to watch because he does some of the things that most experienced No Man's Sky players will never do, like just put like a portal outside.
Off we go for content.
Yeah, it's good content. It'll get him views.
But being a content creator, how do you come up with your? I have to segue because why not?
Go for it.
How do you come up with your games that you're going to stream, or the like your idea for the podcast? Because I know you had driving with Theed back in South Africa. And
Yes.
how do you what makes you decide, okay, I'm going to do this on my YouTube or my Twitch or my whatever channels that you're all on, to keep yourself not only constant and consistent but also be on all the different platforms? Because in order to grow, you need to be on more than one place as well. So how do you?
Yeah. So for me, that's where the step into focusing on Rocket League is helping, because what I would find as a variety streamer, trying to find the right kind of content that I can package for you and say, you as a viewer, when you watch this is what you'll expect on my stream. Playing an assortment of games, I found it very difficult to get that package. Whereas with Rocket League, now you watch me do a certain move, you can expect to see that on the stream. You see something, so it's a lot easier when you've got a focused title to think of these things that you can do on the multitude of platforms, because you can also watch a bunch of content creators who are busy active on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and you can look at what they're doing and say, okay, I can do something like that, just my rendition of it, or I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing and do this, which is unique to me. So I think for me, it's more about isolating what I want to accomplish on each of those platforms. So like, for an example, on TikTok, I want it to be a short 30 to 40 second video of something cool that's happened in one or two situations, and then sort of build a bit of a story around that. Whereas when you move over to YouTube, you maybe put 5 or 6 clips together and build a different, unique story to YouTube. Because if you just specific on the, you just do the spam the same thing on all of the other ones, I don't feel like it draws the right traction to your channel. So I just want to, I want to sort of mix it up. But I'm still in that phase where I'm trying to find the time to actually sit and do that kind of stuff. So I've made the time, but I'm not doing it in that time. So it's still a bit difficult, because there's a whole bunch of other not resources, circumstances that are a bit out of my control. So it becomes difficult, but that's what we all need to deal with. I think that's I've missed your question. And I've answered a different question.
Works, no, it works. Exactly what you did. Exactly what you said actually works. It does fit in with everything.
Because it basically shows that you're not doing, even though it might be Rocket League, you're still doing different parts of Rocket League on the different platforms, so that you're not consistent and copy and pasting from Twitch to YouTube to TikTok or whatever. You're making all of them different, which is the goal that we all have.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That is, exactly. I mean, we're all looking to actually create a our own little space that actually just you want to enjoy coming back to and things like that.
Yeah,
that's something that, I mean, I remember, I think it was 2018 or just towards the end of 2018 when a whole bunch of us all sat down. We were at the Nexus, I think you were with us as well. We were all talking about how we get we were talking about how we should create a thing about content creators wearing themselves out, and the kind of mental strain that can take on you if you're not actually careful with what you do. I suppose it's like way off point, but it has a point to what we're actually.
It's very relative. I get you.
The idea that we look like we're having fun because we are having fun. You know? And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that you can't just pretend that you're having fun. We made that mistake so many times when we were streaming and things like that. Yeah, if you pretend that you're having fun and you put an act on the whole time, people are going to notice and they're not going to be interested in it.
Yeah.
If you actually enjoy doing what you're doing, if you go in and you actually have fun doing it, then it makes
everyone
a huge
else will
difference.
also have.
Yeah. And it's like with for example, these videos that Kez and I have been creating. We're obviously having fun. Otherwise, we would not carry on with days of our 7 days to die. Which is what it's turning into. It's like it's
days
literally
of our lives.
Exactly. I mean, now at the moment it's not.
Trademark.
But the video that you got playing in the background, you'll have to actually watch properly so that you understand where the next episode is going to come from. But we don't like, we're not role playing as per se, so it's not like we're in the world and we are this particular character. We're just like, we're running around busy screwing around in this game.
just having like it would be the fun that you would have anyway, even if the camera wasn't on.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And especially now that Kez and I've found a game that we can actually play together. I mean, there are other games that we can play together, but firstly, like Atlas, the other game that the guys from Arc made.
Yes.
It's a good game. It's a very good game. But the reason why Karen went ugh is because you're tethered, and I can't do tethered. You know, if you're tethered to the other character, it makes it boring.
Yeah.
Because then the other player can't go somewhere. They can't go and have fun. Like Kez can't go running around finding sharks or whatever the hell she does to go and get herself killed. She can't.
My trademark. That's my thing. I go and get killed.
Yeah, she goes and finds the most dangerous thing in the game, and I'm telling you now, she's gonna find those mountain lions, and she's gonna bring them to us at one point.
Help!
Yeah, I'm not gonna look forward to the day that happens, because already we've got like dire wolves sniffing around.
But what is, when in your downtime and stuff, like what is your favorite games that you're playing at the moment?
That's a good question.
That's the space that I now need to find myself into. So okay, so a little bit of like, I should have maybe started this when you asked me, tell me a little bit about you, but it didn't feel right. So when I moved over, and this year was like, I'm gonna go full-fledged content creation. I made a decision that this year I'm not gonna buy any new games. So I said I'm gonna go through my catalog, and this year I've always said since I was 15 and had my first job, I've been collecting games for years and years and years, and obviously now once we've gone digital, it becomes a lot easier because they're always accessible, and
they're so cheap.
And they especially over sales, and that was my problem. I had a bit of an addiction. I'm glad that I didn't run into an intervention, because I was expecting it to happen at any time. Every weekend I was approaching, I was like, I'm sure this is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. They're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna meet everyone in a room and tell me I got a problem. So I said I wanted to try and get through my catalog. So I mean, there's loads of games that I've always wanted to play, but just never had the time to.
Yeah.
And you know, like especially like long RPG games like a Fallout 4. You know, that you've got to spend 50 to 100 hours playing that, and
easily.
When you've got a full-time job, you're trying to run a stream, a Twitch channel, podcast. You just don't have that kind of time, you know. So if you've got 2 or 3 hours free to play games, that's like a lot. And I would just end up playing Rocket League, and that's kind of what happens now. Is like I just kind of train. So I don't have anything that I'm playing on the side at the moment, and I do know what I want to play, and I got myself a Series S Xbox, and because that's where most of my games are on the Xbox.
Why a Series S? Why don't you get an X?
Because for the X2, you know, with the Elgato, I don't know if you have an Elgato.
We do, yes.
So with the Elgato, the max that you can get out is 1080 at 60 frames. So
I suppose 4K.
Dude, but that was the problem with my Xbox One X, is that I never used the 4K because it was always in 1080. So for the Series S, it's like the perfect console, because it's it was £250, which was like, if I went online for secondhand consoles, I was going to spend $200 on a secondhand Xbox One.
Yeah.
So yeah, £250 for the Series S, and it's so much better. I mean, the loading times with the SSD, it's the way to go. And also the Series X is really hard to get hold of.
So is the PS5.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I the Series S just made sense from a content creation point of view.
Yeah,
because I can actually make use of it. And yeah, so I'm not really playing anything. I've got there's Dishonored. I want to start a playthrough of Dishonored. I want to start a playthrough of Fallout 4. I want to start Watch Dogs. I could go through the. Say again.
Someone's got Game Pass.
I've got someone does have Game Pass. I got a whole year of Game Pass, because I was just making sure I was ready for it. But there's games that are on my backlog list that
Forza.
I've always wanted to play. And
Come on, Horizon,
I'm not
dude.
the only one.
Horizon.
good. No, they're great, but you're more of a racing fan than I am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's your kind of
Yeah,
game.
That is true. I mean, but I'm more a Gran Turismo fan.
You
I
are,
won't play
yes.
Forza Motorsport. I'll play Gran Turismo, but I won't play Need for Speed. I'll play Forza
Rather play
Horizon.
Yeah,
Because-
Horizon's it's amazing.
Horizon is an
It's beautiful.
unbelievable game. It is
Yeah.
so awesome. Every time I jump on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to only play for like 5 minutes. I'm sitting an hour in.
Yeah, you just because the cars are awesome, the sounds are awesome, everything. It's just
Yeah.
it really is good. I
no,
do.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that I'm not the only one.
Hey, no, you know what? I'm actually looking at getting another game that I'm going to be getting a little bit later on, called Fishing.
You know him
Northern
and his
Atlantic.
simulators.
Okay, cool.
Theed also likes his simulators,
I
Angel.
do.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's actually a Northern Atlantic fishing game, and I've always liked fishing games. It's always
Nice.
been my thing, and I can never find one that I actually enjoyed.
Did you ever play Sega Bass Fishing?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that was like my
that was a
favorite
pretty
way
epic
back
game.
in
I
the
used to
way.
like that. This is a little more complex. This is actually
sure
a
it would
fishing
be.
company.
Yeah.
You start with a small fishing boat that you use to catch swordfish and whatnot. As that's your
As a
starting
young
point, and then,
skipper or
yeah, and it's a little boat, and then you can build up to like these massive trawlers.
that is very cool.
So there's that I'm looking at getting at some point. I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator. Oh
Nice.
my god, what a fun game!
winner.
I'm actually thinking of once my Baldur's Gate and my BioWare things are over, I'm going to be moving over to
Yes.
the simulators.
Okay. Yeah,
to-
they are such an incredible chill. Like
Exactly, and you
it's-
can actually talk to the people while you're busy
Yeah.
doing it,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is important. And that's
It's-
I've got Train Simulator. I got the new one, the 2021.
nice.
That's something I'm also going to look at doing while we're running through all the simulators here.
Microsoft Flight Sim.
You know what, dude?
He's been trying to
Fucking
get
thing
that,
won't
but
install.
it's not installing.
Oh, it's such a mission because it's so big. And dude, the
I wish that
Microsoft
was the reason, dude. That's
store
not the
is
reason.
just so
Yeah,
terrible.
it is. It's terrible, dude. And I wish it was. I wish it was that. It just won't download. I mean, that it's too big to download. We've got an uncapped fiber line here, and we're running on. I think was it. How many megs are we downloading? I mean, at any given time, we're downloading 10 megs per second, roughly, and that's actual download speed. It's about 10
Well,
megabytes
I'm
per
sure
second.
it's the same for him because
I'm sure it's the same for you. Yeah, I think
It's
I think
not
we're
like
on-
SA internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like 100. I think we got like 100 gig line or something
yeah.
ridiculous. Like, it's really fast. But that's not the issue. The issue is Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm desperate to play the game. I really love Flight Simulators.
He's been trying
I think
like
they're
2
so
or 3
awesome.
times.
And yeah, I've tried 2 or 3 times on this PC, and this PC can handle it. It's not a piece of crap.
Yeah.
We didn't spend £1,000 on a computer each for it to be crap.
Yeah, crap PC.
So these
So
are
just
not
went
bad
off.
PCs. I downloaded. I download the game and then I start it, and as it goes into the starting window, it just crashes because you download the little installer the
Yes,
installer package,
yes,
and then
yes.
that's supposed to download the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I download that, start the game running, and then it just crashes, and it constantly does it all the time. I'm not the only one having that issue. Apparently, there are a lot of people who are having that issue, and Microsoft hasn't fixed it yet. So I can't play the game until they actually fix it, and I really want to play it. So now I'm playing mostly ground and water games now, because ground and water simulators, because that's all you can do.
I play Hospital Simulator.
She does. She's actually playing Twin Peaks.
2.0.
2.0. Yeah, that's cool.
It's
I like
fun.
it.
It reminds me of the one that came out when I was
Hospital.
little.
And I never played that one actually. It's
it
very
was quite
similar,
fun.
though.
Yeah, it's very, very similar.
It is. They look very similar.
Yeah, this one's just obviously more updated, but it's still quite fun because I remember like building hospitals with my friends, and we used to just kill all the people and make them
Oh, wow,
queue.
dude.
And
Yeah, she's
I
a
can
nice
be
person.
quite. I used to try and kill my Sims in different
Yeah,
ways.
you're
So
the person
I'm-
who takes away the ladder and then like those
Yes.
fireworks.
I was
upstairs or
a really sadistic.
I used to
monster.
build
Wow.
like
A slam.
keep them in a room together and leave them with absolutely nothing, or just put them in the pool before
Take
Sims
away
got
the-
really, really smart and they can just jump out the
something. They
side
can just
now.
climb out themselves. Yeah, that was pretty selfish of the developers.
There's other
But
things you can
there's
do to
now
kill them.
one where you can die of a broken heart, you can die of too much laughter, you can die of too much hanky panky.
Wow.
You can die.
Sims 4 for you, dude.
It's quite hectic.
Make it a bit more interesting.
what you can do, and I'm one of those people that I always try.
Yeah, no, there've been times where I've tried to do things that I know the physics in the game will just not allow. I remember I built a tower for them, like a 6-story tower or something like that. And I
Okay.
made the sim go all the way to the top, and then I just like removed the walls and the door, everything from the bottom. Nothing happened.
No ways. And then did it
The
just
building didn't come down. It just stayed there. I was like, well, that's just stupid. Remove the floor and the sim just stands there. It's like, huh? So no, there's other things I used to do. When they removed the pool, the pool mechanic where you can't lock them in a pool by taking the ladder away, I just put walls around the pool.
yeah.
So
I
they
mean that
can't
works.
climb out.
I can't get out. You guys
Like
are
I
evil. I
said-
didn't realize this. I didn't know
I'm
this side of
very
you.
evil. I'm very evil.
You should know this about me now.
I didn't know this. I'm
really.
sitting here. I'm shocked.
I'm sorry.
You bloody liar.
Now he's like, those messages. I'm not going to speak
The
to
last
Kez anymore
podcast
after
episode
this.
with you guys.
He's not gonna come visit now.
He's not going to come visit him when we knock at the
You don't wanna be
doors.
locked
No
in
one's
the
home.
swimming pool.
Just lock him out.
So,
Dead of winter will just lock you outside. Screw it, dude. You can die of hypothermia.
well, if he wants really nice snow, he'll come here.
Yeah, and it gets freaking cold here. Just a word of warning. Yeah, in Scotland. I mean, England gets cold, but Scotland, holy crap.
Not fun.
So I know you came more or less still while lockdown was in effect and all of that. Have you been able to go out and explore and do some sort of things?
Not really. So when I first arrived, it was towards the. It was in that weird. There was a weird period here in the UK where the lockdown was finished and people were at work, and then they were off furlough, and so my brother works in restaurants, right? And they are obviously hospitality has been really heavily affected.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so he was still going to work until literally like the week that I arrived. Things started going back to, okay, wait a minute, we're looking at we might be getting another surge. And so I got to meet with 2 friends from my old high school in a park with we just had some beers and sandwiches because it was still okay. And then like literally 3 days later, Boris was like, sorry guys, we are locking you down again, and this is a heavy lockdown. So then the thing is, in South Africa, it was a lot. My anxiety was a lot higher than it is here because everyone
military
here
walking around in South Africa.
respects your. Say again.
You had military walking around in South
Yeah,
Africa.
well, not in the area I was in,
Oh,
thankfully.
lucky you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose so.
Well, he was in a Lani area back
Yeah.
in South
I was,
Africa.
yeah, I was,
Allow me noch.
I was very, yeah, the ninjas. Now I've gone off track. Oh yeah. So I wasn't really allowed to go out, and also the thing is, I'm living with my brother and his fiance, and if I go out, I'm kind of putting them at risk as well. So I needed to be very considerate of the decisions I made. So majority of the time, I just stayed indoors. I probably left the house like 10 times in like 3 months. So,
Wow.
but
That sucks.
yeah, it's like it was more of just I didn't really have anything else to do. I didn't have money to spend, so it didn't make sense to go out and do anything. However, this past week was quite an adventure. I caught a bus for the first time, public bus, and I didn't tell him to stop. So we just like I saw where I was supposed to get off and driving.
You didn't push the button.
I didn't press it because I didn't know. So I'm like, because I bought the ticket, I told him where I needed to go. So in my mind, I'm thinking,
He knew where you were
yeah,
going
he's
to go.
going to stop there. Because it's not like the bus was full. There was like 5 of us. on the
Also,
bus.
never gonna remember that.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But I didn't like realize that at the time, and now I know. Lesson learned. But it was pretty cool to get out and do a bit of exploring. And now that things are kind of heading towards getting back to normal, I will definitely spend a bit more time being outside. And that's been a big part of the burnout because I haven't been getting out and spending time by myself. I'm just behind the PC the whole time.
Yeah.
It's too much a lot of the time, and I don't have that pull out. So yeah,
Yeah, I suppose it's one advantage of living here in Scotland, though, is that it's a very wide open country. So I mean, we moved when we moved here from South Africa. We moved to my brother's place, and it's a very rural town, you know.
Okay.
And well, to be honest, I mean, Scotland is very rural in comparison with England. So, I mean, Glasgow.
It's a lot more naturey.
Yeah, we're in Glasgow at the moment. Essentially, we are actually part of Glasgow, Glasgow proper, but we're a small, tiny little town, just a village actually, not even a town, just a village that is outside of Glasgow, and they split up and they break into little pieces. And the public transport in England is a better idea to use because you don't really need a car in England depending on where you live. So, I mean, if you live in London, you don't need a car. Here in Scotland, you need a car because everything is so far apart. I mean, it's like living in South Africa. You don't have. Okay, granted, you freeze your ass off here, so it's not exactly the same as South Africa. And that's the one difference. But the things are quite far apart, so you can never really. You can't go to the shop and come back with just like a couple of bags, and then you can just walk over to the bus or stop outside your house.
There's some places where you can do that, so there are bus stops and stuff.
Yeah, there are, but it's not like there aren't bus stops. I mean, this area's got a bus stop. We have got bus stops that go through the main road, but we're obviously very far off of the main road, which is what we wanted anyway because cats. But essentially, the buses don't come up this side; they only go up the main road, and that's one of the things that we've learned is you need a car. So we've got a car. We use it once a week because lockdown is still here. So we use it once, maybe twice a week. We go grocery shopping.
Yeah, much easier to do in a car.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Otherwise, we go walking. I mean, and you've seen. The video isn't up yet.
No, it's not.
You guys are going to see the video. It's really beautiful. It's. I mean, at the moment, bright and sunny, so you get nice weather. Although I don't think it's sunny at the moment.
I don't know.
I can't see. She's close to the window. But normally it's nice and it's either sunny or this weather changes in this country quickly.
It's the same, yeah.
Bri.
I mean, did you not have the other day where it was sunshine and then it just randomly started to snow?
It snowed in my face. Yeah, that was the day I was out. That was the day I went out exploring.
I was speaking to a customer. I think it must have been the same day when you were exploring because my customer was busy talking to me on the phone. She was busy explaining something about her issue, essentially the problem that she was having. And she's like, and you wouldn't believe it, it's just started to snow. I look out, and I said to her, funny enough, it snowed for a bit here too, but like only for like a couple of
for us as well. A little bit.
But you guys got like snow in the face. We didn't really get that here.
It's like we were saying this morning because we wanted to have a braai. You never know what the weather's going to be like because it was all nice and sunny this morning, and then we got home from the shop and it was all cloudy, and then you're going to look outside again and it'll probably be sunny. So you have to have your rain jacket and a warm jacket, and just to make sure that you're covered.
I literally go out the house with a bag, so I've got an extra beanie, an extra jacket, I've got like an extra pair of shoes, just in case. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I mean, we've like I said, we're planning for a bride today, and you never know what's gonna happen.
Bride with an umbrella.
Yeah, exactly. And we've also got one of those little disposable brides. I don't know if you've seen them.
I have. Yeah.
They're actually pretty cool. They work quite well.
Yeah, it's just we don't have Boerewors.
Yeah. You don't have any South African shops that side?
I can't find them. They're probably all closed at the moment.
It's not as easy access as you guys have.
Yeah, you guys have got easy access to South African shops.
We've got one in our town centre.
Yeah, you see, you guys have got that. Our town centre doesn't have anything close to that. We have to go into Glasgow. There's actually one at the shopping centre close to our office that actually does a lot of South African, like they call them deli meats, but it's like Boerewors is not a deli meat, dude.
yeah. But it's so that they can find it on their system.
Yeah.
If you find some Boerewors there, you would never find it.
Even if you say Boerewors, they're like, what's that?
We actually had to show them a photo of the one thing.
Yeah, because the Aldi here actually.
It's Aldi's everywhere, not just in Scotland.
The Aldis here in the UK actually do sell. They sell Boerewors. But it's
so hard to come by.
It's very rare. So when it does come, it goes very quickly. It's like, the freaking South Africans find it before we can get it.
They're there quickly. They get like an email alert.
We've got Boerewors. Ah!
Run.
So what is the plans for you in the UK, with your channel, basically just you in general?
It's a tough question to answer because I don't know where everything's going to be in 6 months. Things just change so drastically. It's difficult to plan. But if everything goes to plan, I would love to be doing this. Streaming 2-3 times a week, having 2 or 3 YouTube videos coming out, 2 or 3 TikTok videos. Having 1 or 2 editors on the channel, and being able to do everything that I intend to, but actually consistently doing it, and not just like in between where I can and where I can't, because it's like I need to move out. I need to find my own space, and because it'll just enable me to be able to like be in full control of when I can stream and what I can do, and my eating schedules and my sleeping schedules and all those things. So for me, I'm hoping that I'm looking at getting a job soon. My brother's got some driving set up for me, so I'm probably going to start working so that I can start saving some money. So the streaming stuff, like I've been able to get enough to sort of contribute towards food, but it's not something that I've been able to save or do anything with. So that's not it's not future proof. It's getting to the next month. So at the moment, I've only been able to plan for the next month, and then if I'm able to pay rent for that month, then I can stream for the next month. So I've been fortunate enough to have got to at least accomplish that. But yeah, looking forward, I am hoping that the casting thing will take off. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to do some voice acting. That would be really incredible. And yeah, the podcast is doing well. It's taken a nice direction with everything that's going on now, and the channel's cool. It's growing steadily. I thought it was going to grow a lot faster than it did, or it has. But I am very grateful to be where I am at with it, and yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think that the next 6 months are going to be very interesting, but the last 4 months have been incredible and incredibly difficult. But I've overcome so many things that I didn't realize I was going to need to. That I'm really excited to see what happens in this next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. This podcast that you're talking about, I've completely forgotten what it was. What do you do on the podcast?
So I've got so Kez was saying a little bit earlier about driving with Theeds. So in SA, what I would do is either on my way to work or on my way home from work, I would just talk about stuff in the car. So that was my podcast, and it was fun because I didn't have any agenda. There was no plan. There was just me sort of rambling on about my day and the content and everything that's going on. And
it's kind of interesting.
Now what I've done, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it while I was doing it. But so now what I've done is it's more of a scheduled once a week thing where I just sort of recap. Whoops, I'm shutting down that PC. All right. I'm just going to pretend like I can still see because it doesn't. I accidentally pressed the button that turns that PC off. Nice. I didn't even know that existed. I'm so glad I've never pressed that before.
Well, now you found it, and now you need to put a red sign. Do not touch.
Do not touch button. That's funny. I wouldn't be able to see this.
Whoops, I just turned that PC off. It's like part of the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's still fine. Hilarious. So the podcast now is basically like a recap of what's happened the week previously. So I'll kind of talk about what happened in my stream and what's happened in. So at the moment I'm running something called King of the Pit, and we've got a motion called Ban Trebs that we all are very adamant about. And Trebs is a member of the community who has made many streamers do heinous things. So we're lost. No, don't worry.
Well, there you go. You can. Just joking. Sorry for interrupting. When you're done with the podcast, you can explain the ban Trebs thing, because Ziv asked me about it the other day. Because he's like, "Who's Trebs and why is he need banning?" So when you're done talking about the podcast, you can explain to him so he can understand.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not one of those go out and ban everyone just because kind of people. So I need reasons.
I'll get into that after. So King of the Pit is something that we do, and it's kind of like a marbles thing where you just throw your avatar in and don't have any control over what happens. Sorry, that was my other account who's just left.
Fine, your computer just ran away.
So. Yeah. Yeah.
Got bored.
They didn't like us.
It had enough. Yeah. Bye. So the King of the Pit is like a marbles thing where you just throw your avatar in and we basically mosh it out, and the last person standing is the winner. And then I go on to play Rocket League. So I just talk about like what happens during King of the Pit, what happens during Rocket League, and what anything else that's happened on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then kind of what the plan is for the week ahead. So it's been nice because it's given me what I was struggling with is I wasn't spending enough time with my content to see the things that I was enjoying and what I wasn't. So by doing the podcast episode and setting out a scheduled time to sit and watch the content with intention of making a podcast, it's given me that sort of opportunity and that space to sit with myself, watch over whether it be 15 minutes or half an hour of the start of the stream, middle of the stream towards the end of the stream, and just get some information so that I can make a podcast episode and try and just like an update. So if you've missed this week worth of streams, you can watch the podcast for 15 minutes and be updated on everything that's happened, you know. So if you have a vested interest on whatever progress on something that I spoke about the week previously, chances are I'll speak about it again this week, so that you don't necessarily have to be on the stream the whole time to still be in on the jokes or in on what's happened. So that's where the podcast fits in, which I'm really enjoying.
Nice. Yeah, no, I just had to get that out. I wasn't exactly sure what the podcast was all about. It's always interesting to find out more and more information. So, what do you think about? Okay, it's a little bit of a random piece of news here, since you were talking about news of the week and all that stuff. Outriders has obviously just come out now properly, and apparently they've disappointed a whole bunch of players. Now, I've obviously not checked everything out on the news report, or not the news report, but the report about it. But apparently they've pissed off a whole bunch of players now for some or other odd reason. You know what's going on there?
Something to do with the server stability. But I mean, us gamers are just moan about everything. So,
Exactly.
that's all I ever see, dude. That's all I ever see.
Whiny babies.
We just we do. Like we
do.
There's so many problems all the time.
Cyberpunk's a perfect example.
It's exactly, but I mean, okay, but not really, because there was some issues. But
exactly.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, this is how I see it. Okay. I'm pissed off with the higher ups at CD Projekt Red, the big management or whatever the hell they call themselves, who are like, oh yeah, release the game now. You have to do it. No questions asked.
The
blah,
bigger
blah, blah.
kunas.
Yeah, the big balls in the company.
Kahunas, not kunas. I don't know what that was.
They think they're
Cajones,
but they're not. Yeah,
that one.
The big cajones. Anyway, yeah, so I don't like what they said. I think that they're idiots. I think that they're fools for doing that. But I also think that people who are going after the developers because there were bugs in the game and shit like that is also unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, you whined about the fact that the game wasn't out yet. You whined about this. So they went, okay, look, we can't release this game. It doesn't look right. No, release it. We want it. You moaned and groaned about it, and then you got a shit game. You got a half-made game. No one else's fault but your own. If you just said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to argue. I can wait.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm happy. I'm still waiting for the game to actually
I'm still waiting as well.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it the other day on the PlayStation.
He got so mad.
I got pissed off because my character got walked into a wall. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Took the game and I put it back in the box. I'm like, fix the game and then I'll do it. Once the game's fully fixed, then I'll play it.
So, and I'm the same page as you. Like I played it a bit when it first came out because the hype was real, hype train and everything.
Yeah.
And I played it for maybe 5 hours and I was like, there's lots of bugs. I'll just wait until they fixed it. And because they announced, you know, we've got a time schedule. We're going to try and do a big bug squasher in Jan. We're going to try and do one in Feb. They let us know they weren't going to get the one out in Feb. They're going to do it mid-March. They did it mid-March. And you know, as much as annoying it is that I can't play it there and then, I'm also like, I will wait until it's ready. Like even if you play The Witcher 3 now and you've never played The Witcher 3, you're gonna have a great time. But if you played it that first year that it was released, you know, these are the things that you got to consider.
Yeah, exactly.
So Outriders, I think that from what I've seen, It's got a pretty cool concept, and it's not exactly my type of game, and I'm not sure about you guys either. It's kind of like a Destiny Division.
Yeah, I'm not sure of it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those kinds
Army
of
of
games.
Two.
That's my problem. You know,
If I have to,
yeah, if
I'll
I
play
absolutely
it.
have to, I'll play Destiny or something like that.
Yeah.
I played Destiny 1, and the reason why was I got the entire collection on PS3.
I
Everything.
think he's heard the story.
I don't know if you
I
have.
think a lot of people have heard the story.
Anyway, I got the entire collection on my PS3. The whole collection on my PS3. I had all of the updates, all of the latest, the latest expansions for Destiny 1 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Get the game on PS4. Oh no, it's not compatible. You can't
No
literally
way.
cross your downloads
Okay, no, I
from one
haven't
to the
heard
other. There was a
insane.
time when you could.
Yeah.
They gave you a certain amount of time before you couldn't. And I was like, okay, that's just
now
stupid.
I remember the story.
That's just stupid.
See, I
Yeah.
told you heard it.
Yeah, but I mean that's just
And
stupid
then-
because I've got Guild Wars 2 and I've got all of the expansions on Guild Wars 2. I've got a different computer now and I've still got all the expansions.
Yeah, that's how. it
Funny
should
how
be.
that works, right?
Yeah.
So you'd think that would be the logical thing that they would do with Destiny, and they didn't do it. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm never playing Destiny again, and I stuck to it.
He hasn't.
I haven't touched that game since, and I refuse to because I do not believe that you should screw players because you want more money. If you want to get more money, make more expansions. Simple.
Yeah. Do the right things.
Exactly. Do the right thing, and that was
She
what
does
pissed me
that.
off.
That
So-
should you should be applicable for a refund.
Exactly, but that was the Destiny thing. But I'm not a huge fan of that kind of game anyway. So Destiny was fun for a while, but it's I'm more of a story-driven person when it comes to those kinds of games. So
And I think that's the thing at the end of the day is if you have like 3 designated friends that you game with, that kind of game is very appealing to you because
Yeah.
it's a new title that you guys can play together. But like for you two and for my liking, I rarely even play anything else. So it's not really gonna appeal to me.
yeah, exactly.
It's one of those maybe one day when you've got like nothing to do.
Yeah, and is that
and
ever
you
gonna
feel
happen
like
anymore?
playing? No.
Yeah. I mean, I've got enough stuff on my plates. I'm going to be starting Star Trek Online soon with
nice.
our fleet, because
There's
obviously
so
we're part of the
much
8th
to
fleet.
do.
There's so much, and essentially okay. I don't know if you know anything about Starfleet International and all of
don't.
that stuff. Okay, well
Not even
we essentially we're part of a starship.
Okay.
And I've I've been made chief security officer. So my job is to firstly make sure that no one is naughty on the Discord channel on any of our channels. So you get rude or anything like that, I kick you or I put you in the brig and things
Off you
like
go.
that. And you stay locked up there for a while until I'm satisfied that you've served your time.
Fair.
But I also have to lead the away missions, and the away missions, well, the online away missions, which would be things like Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online. Kez is the Guild Wars character person.
We're
But
kind of like pretending to be real Star Trek people in a
So is it like
real.
roleplay?
sort of.
Very.
But it's actually a community. It's actually a full community of people. We all get together when we can, and we sit down on Discord and have a meeting. We talk crap
Quite
to each other.
official.
And when we go back to South Africa, we might meet up with the crew members and say,
Nice.
hey, and just sit down, and get a cup of coffee with them.
But you get like
nice community.
certificates and you can
Yeah.
study things and
can
like
actually
you
study
study
things. It's quite
Star
cool.
Trek things. It's
Oh,
really
cool.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird but cool and like
Yeah, it's a good weird. I know what you mean.
Yeah, most people wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very fun.
Cool.
And that's one of the things that I have to start doing now as well. I've got to join the captain on Minecraft at some point as well, because he does the Minecraft thing. And I've got to join Kez obviously on Guild Wars because we play Guild Wars a lot. I've got to join my brother because we play Guild Wars with my brother. So there's all of that as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we have that we just don't have time to actually play new games like that.
Yeah.
It's only if I'm absolutely desperate to get a new game like this fishing game that I'd get one. Otherwise, I'm easy, I mean,
but also with Game Pass, like
yeah, Game
You can
Pass
get
is
so
like the
many
best thing in the
games.
world.
Yeah.
And it's like the EA thing was just handed over now, so you can have EA
Yeah.
Play and Game Pass. So it was like
but there's
that
also
was the best idea ever.
the BioWare stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you can play all the BioWare games.
That's on
Yeah,
that's on
and
EA.
they've
Yeah.
just bought Bethesda and the holding company at those. So it's just it's growing and growing and growing.
Yeah,
too many games, too little time.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's great though, because I think the Game Pass was the best thing that we could have actually gotten.
For sure.
But yeah, anyway, we need you to plug yourself, dude, because we're coming to that time.
Wait, before we do you have any words of wisdom for anyone starting or that's been around, or any just general words of wisdom?
He wants some words.
I want some words of wisdom.
I mean, I think that we covered a couple of things earlier, but I mean, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna chase content creation, you need to do it because you love it, and you need to do it for the right reasons. And as long as you're having fun, the people who are watching you will have fun. Don't try and be like somebody else because that person already exists. The only person out there who doesn't exist is you. So own that and make it awesome.
Yeah. You can do what I do and use your weird ass personality, because it helps.
Yeah. So own your personality. Own your personality and you'll be just fine.
Exactly.
I like that one. We've never had that. I like that one.
Yeah, own your personality. I like it. Anyway, it's time to plug yourself, Theed. Tell us a little bit. Or plug all your channels first.
Goodness gracious. Can I get a list out quick? Because it's going to be so much easier if I read off a list. Hang on a sec.
Go for it. Read off a list.
Because because there's like I am Theed3, there's Theed3. It's so annoying because they have all like some have been taken. So
and no, none of you can call him the Ed. That's our special thing.
Yes, it's our inside joke.
I just ban people now. I've got
the only ones who are allowed to call him the Ed is the SA Geeks. So we can go in and scream the Ed, and he won't ban us.
We hope.
Okay, here we go. We're on the social. So I'm on Twitter as IAM_Theed3. I'm on Facebook as IAmTheed3. You can find me on Instagram, IAM_Theed3. Get me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Theed3. You can get me on YouTube, I've got Theed3, and you can get me on Anchor as well, which is where my podcast is at, which goes out to Spotify and Google and all the other places, and also on TikTok. I think it's just Theed3. I don't have that one written down here.
There
you need to add that one then.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's so white.
Just bright light.
So
I've got it in my face the whole time. I don't have much of a choice.
That's what he really looks like.
I couldn't just turn my screen off and then suddenly it goes dark.
It goes dark.
Yeah, you can't do that. It looks terrible.
And I've been staring at my blank screen for ages because I was looking at your face earlier, but then when I switched my PC off, then I got to rejoin Discord, then it's going to shuffle our faces again. So,
No, don't want to do that.
No, but when the white screen comes, that's what you really look like, because we don't go out in the sun that often now.
True.
Because you can't go in the sun. What sun?
Very vit.
Yeah, exactly.
No more South African tans.
Yeah, no more SA tan until we go back there and we realize how hot it is.
Yeah. Just going to be covered in sunblock the whole time to get our fragile skin.
It's like they've got like SPF 50 and I'm up here in Scotland. I'm like, what the hell do they need SPF 50 for?
That one time you go to the beach, it's for the wind. Windburn more than anything.
Windburn, yeah.
But anyway.
I never understood that. But anyway, it's our turn to plug ourselves as if we need to, really. I mean, if you guys are here, you know exactly where we are. But we will anyway. So Kez is gonna just give all the names.
Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
Anchor,
and Bitch.
And every single one of those is pretty simple, VSA Geeks. Or for those of you who do not know how I'm saying it,
logo.
Yeah, and for those of you who do not know how I'm saying it, the is not THEE, it is THE. I mean, come on, we all speak English here. The SA Geeks, THESAGEEKS. All robot-like just for you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching us. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below, down there, somewhere. And hit that bell notification. It's not going to do anything, but do it anyway, just because you can. If you're following us or if you're listening to us elsewhere on any of the platforms on Anchor, please feel free to give us a nice follow. It's always nice to get a follow if you like the show. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Seriously.
We still love you.
If you like the video, hit a like button and just just to show the love. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button and tell us why. Because then I'm just going to tell you to fuck off. I don't care. Anyway.
No, he won't.
So, I won't. I might, but I won't. Anyway, so yeah, just guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for sitting through my stupid questions and Kez's clever questions, and sitting through what Theed has to say about what he does.
And put up with us.
And put up with us for this long hour. I'm sure it was very long for you guys. Anyway, thank you so much. And as always, remember...
Kiki.